Test Tank 18.1's Can Crusher modified to test the grid fin mounts at Massiey's, Booster 12 makes an appearance at Sanchez, more Gigabay floor sections readied for concrete at the build site, and new clamp parts added to the OLM for Pad 2 at the launch site. These are just some of the many changes to Starbase Texas, so settle in for episode 101 of the Starbase Flyover update from your favourite camera in the sky, RGV aerial photography. This flight was conducted on October 1st at 6,000 feet, with lots of clouds lingering. A little patience was once again rewarded with plenty of high quality images to keep us up to date. I'm Jeff A, and I'll be guiding you around, so kick back and enjoy. We'll start as usual at Massiey's rocket testing facility. Before we begin, here's a labelled map from Proky to find your way around the site. Beginning at the fluids bunker, the liquid oxygen line has been assembled from the trench to the end of the bunker, with the methane side not far behind. Nearby, a large amount of concrete has been poured near the electrical bunker, and trench covers have been installed, indicating the pipe installation in the trench is complete. Shifting to the methane side of the tank farm, some new cryogenic propellant lines have been installed, leading to the two storage tanks. Auxiliary lines can be seen running parallel to the horizontal methane tank. Heading the other way toward the pipe racks behind the blast wall, a number of new pipe runs are underway, including one for liquid nitrogen supply. This is also where the main methane pipe will run. At the liquid oxygen side of the tank farm, some new pipe racks have been installed, leading to the trench. Next to the trench, what we believe to be a liquid oxygen supply line is being welded. Now moving to the old can crusher, we notice fresh steel added to the structure, likely to add testing capabilities for the grid fin sockets. Finally, at the electrical bunker area, rebar work is continuing on the roof of the structure, and the concrete that was previously broken out for the walls has been re-poured. On the other side of the road, more trenches have been dug near the Tesla power packs and transformers. This is all part of the complete upgrade of the wiring at the site. That's all for Massiey's, so let's move over to Sanchez. Just to get you started, here's a quick look at the map to show you where things are located. Starting with a look at the BQD and SQD adapter that came back from the pad for the last time, it's expected that this hardware will be scrapped, as it will not be used ever again. At the work stand construction area, a new one has appeared since the last flyover. It looks like SpaceX has slowed down building these structures, as Star Factory is pretty much full of them at the moment. Moving to the ship QD arm, the walkways have been installed on either side of the arm, pending installation of the cryopiping frame in the middle. We can also see that some cryopipes have started to be worked on. We're getting closer to seeing this arm being installed at the pad. At the scrapyard, there's a new bare barrel section, the old 4-point lifter storage frame, and finally, the nose cone of Ship 26. Speaking of the version 2 4-point lifter, it's nowhere to be seen and most likely scrapped. Nearby, the old booster cryo stand was placed close to the ship cryo stand, and both were subsequently moved to Massiey's in the early hours of October 8th. The ship static fire adapter is also parked here. Finally, at the rocket garden, B15.2, B17 and B12 are together as mentioned in the previous episode. B15.2 should be moved to the pad in the next few days ahead of Flight 11. Just before moving to the build site, we'd like to thank all of our YouTube and Patreon members. Remember, all of the patrons get to participate in our show and tell sessions on the same day of each flight. Here you can join in the discussions and ask your own questions. YouTube members also get to watch and listen in with a live chat function. We'll start off our tour of the build site with a look at the Gigabay, where we immediately notice blue vapour barriers set up signalling an ongoing concrete pour. We can expect these blue sections to be the vertical supports for the bay, with these squares being the areas where the future ship workstations will be located. Further down, more rebar has been installed, leaving only a small section left. Taking a quick look off from Starbase main facilities, we see that the staging area where rebar for Gigabay's foundations are being stored now has the first few pieces of steel framing staged before installation into Gigabay. Moving on to Megabay 1, we can just see Booster 18's LOX tank and aft in the front left corner of the bay. This week, we got a glimpse of some of the many new multi-level work platforms being installed over the past few months. At Megabay 2, home of Ship 38 and Test Tank 39.1, there have been no noticeable changes this week. We'll make one final stop at Boca Chica Village, where we can see the multi-storey apartment building has made fast progress. We can see construction going on in the centre of the building where prefabricated sections are being lifted for a 6-storey parking garage. Now let's move on to the launch site, where we'll go over construction of Pad 2 as well as launch preps for Flight 11. Here's this week's labelled map. Take a moment to pause the video if you need extra time looking it over. Let's begin this week with a top-down view of the launch mount at Pad 2. The clamp arms have seen some progress once again this week. The locking clamps have been reinstalled. Some new elements have also been added to where the booster will sit on the arms. These cylinder-shaped objects point in an odd direction, so we'll have to keep an eye out on how this develops. Moving to the GSC support structure, some holes can be seen along the base of the cladding area of the eastern wing. Turning to the south, we can see the front of the structure with its continued installation of cladding. 10 additional panels have been added since the last flyover. Be on the lookout for this during the next flyover, yet more panels have been added since, including the ones with holes for the 4 vents. Where we previously looked at the preparations in the concrete on the second floor, the right side wing wall has also been closed in, with some more of these panels staged near the retention pond. Now looking at this photo taken October 5th from Sean Giesler, showing the latest progress from the ground. Special thanks to Sean for being out there contributing these great angles. On October 5th, the scaffolding staircase on the left side used for access was removed, opening this wing to catch up to the right. Just left, rebar has been installed along the tower and flame trench. Nearby, additional concrete footers are being prepared for the launch site boundary. This may support continued curbing to assist in diverting flame trench water toward the retention pond during testing. Moving to Tower 2, the installation of brackets for the cable tray now extends to the SQD arm actuator mount. The 2 hinge points expected to be used for the installation of the SQD arm continue to be prepared, with line boring equipment attached to precisely size the holes used to pin the arm to the tower. This marked the end for the upgraded configurations of the SpaceX LR11000. The derrick is seen, resting on the ground. Only a single segment of the main boom remains nearby. The SpaceX Zone boom should arrive at the launch site soon. At the Pad 2 water farm, the last 2 sections of the blast wall are having rebar placed, with forms set to pour the first half. Just to the right, another large slab is ready for concrete. Moving up to the tanks, the top manifold for the tank on the far right has made its return after being modified. The tank to its left is now missing its manifold, with it resting to the side. Just above, the gas generator roofs are completed with steel sheeting on the frames. Shifting to the megabunker, the exterior walls are in place. The roof steel is being reinstalled on the road side of the building so that the roof panels and rebar can be set for concrete to be placed. With nothing to note on the original tank farm and pump farm, we turn to Pad 1 as it's being prepared for Flight 11. All 20 of the hold-down clamps have been installed and the alignment fixture is set on the middle tower of scaffolding. This is used to level all the clamps, so they all retract at the same time at liftoff. The BQD hood is now clear of the ship testing pipe hardware. Some welding can be seen at the top. Finally, the construction at the ASU across the roundabout continues with the perimeter wall structures nearing completion. In just a couple of weeks, crews may begin the next phase of this construction. Well, that's it for episode 101 of Starbase Flyover Update. Thank you for choosing to fly with RGV aerial photography, and we hope you all enjoyed the flight. If you liked what you saw today, please subscribe for more episodes and content so you don't miss out on the new videos each week. I'm Jeff A, and we hope to see you again from 6,000 feet.